Hi, I'm Lance with Aspen Mountain Plumbing, and today I'm going to help you to where you can adjust a pop-up assembly on your lavatory sink. Most of your lavatory sinks do have a pop-up of some sort or another. This is just the actual assembly outside of the sink. This would be actually where your sink basin sits. The pop-up is a very, very simple mechanism. It's just a lever that when you pull it up, it pulls this lever up and pushes that down on the inside. To adjust it, if it's too tight or too loose, you just tighten that nut or loosen that nut based on whether it's tight or not. If it's tight, you want to loosen it up. If it's too loose, then you want to tighten it up a little bit. Sometimes you'll notice that you'll close it and it doesn't flush right. That's usually an adjustment with the actual pivot arm right here. To do that, you just disconnect the little piece of metal that holds it on by sliding it backwards, move it up to whatever hole you want it at, and slide that piece of metal back on to give it the tension you need in order to hold it in place. It's a very simple little maneuver. Most people get confused on it. It looks more complicated than it actually is. Another thing that will go wrong with your pop-up sometime is the pop-up breaks on the inside. To take care of that, you just go ahead and disconnect the pivot rod out of the back of the drain. You pull it out. That little piece is what holds the pop-up inside out. You go ahead and knock out your pull out or your pop-up, pull it out, put your new one in. You'll want to make sure that your hole lines up facing the back if it's a directional one. This one's actually universal to where it doesn't matter whether it's forward or back, it's in the center of the drain. Shove your pivot rod back into the drain and tighten it back up. Now there's a gasket that sits on the inside of it. This one doesn't have that. Make sure that gasket sits between the actual pivot rod and the drain part itself.